The TORG gaming convention came to Northeast Ohio in Sandusky, so I decided to drag the family out there and check out what they had. And as you can see, I'm ready to go for my big day here, and it was quite a large event. I was really surprised just how many vendors were there and how nice it was. The worst part is I didn't even know they had this arcade until I was leaving. There's a lot to do there aside from just buy things. So it was a really cool expo, and I wish we had more time there, but it just wasn't working out for this weekend. But either way, let's check out some of these heavy hitters that we found. Now, there's a ton of games. Obviously, there's 350 vendors, so I didn't get everything. And I don't like recording in public, but hopefully you can see from the footage. They had a lot of big hitters there, a lot of like rare games, a lot of graded games, a lot of stuff that a lot of people would love to have in their collection. But the prices of these things are just absolutely ridiculous. I found this old Power Rangers with the Hills sticker on it. Hills was a department store long defunct, but I thought it was pretty cool to see that again. Went over here, Virtual Boy, complete in box, Japanese one, awesome. But that Panasonic Q had a broken disk drive. They still wanted $1,100 for it. Here's a fully decked out X-Station PlayStation. It's pretty cool. Lots of heavy hitters. Not sure what that Donkey Kong 64 thing is. It's probably the most Saturn games I've ever seen in one location, but all of them expensive. This is some cool stuff here. Some watches, some soundtracks, little PlayStation clock. Just cool little things there that I would like to buy. That I just love those little, like, I don't know, promotional items that kind of get lost and everything. Lots of cool, rare games, expensive stuff. And then there's this thing here, the Action Max. Lots of VHS tapes for it. Never heard of it, never seen it, but there's a lot of those there. I'm not sure why. There's probably... This R-Zone was something I had to have as a kid. My mom actually bought one for me. It was horrible, huge mistake, but I loved it even though it was awful. One chip SNES for $200. Not sure if that's good or not. Got Turbo Graphics. We got some Sega Saturn accessories over here. We got a game, Virtual Boy. Then we have the Power Glove, of course. Keep going. A couple of these booths are really well organized. This is one of them. There's a lot of cool stuff to see there. Almost just too much to take in. Like, there's so much going on that's hard to see. This Game Boy apparently is rare for $1,000. No thanks. Lots of Game Boys. It's a gaming convention. There's games everywhere. More heavy hitters in this case over here. Not sure who's buying Conker's Bad Fur Day at $4,500 graded, but, good luck. Maybe it works out. The one thing that confused me was that racing game up there. This, what was it? I can't tell what it's called, but it was $1,100 for an N64 racing game that I never heard of. So if anyone can explain why it's that much, I'd love to know, but a lot of good heavy hitters here. As far as I could see, what's that called? Yeah, Street Race. Amazingly expensive. Not sure why. Lots of soundtracks. Those are my favorite things in the world because I always loved them growing up. So these are a whole soundtrack area, but behind the soundtracks was one of the cooler things, a whole Virtual Boy system display for $6,000. Gotta have your Funko Pops, of course. We have to have those everywhere. Cool thing, I think it's a Game Boy sewing machine up there, complete in box. Nintendo chest is pretty cool, some marquees and things like that. Found the only Jag thing they had was one Atari Jaguar. It looks pretty nice. Not an expert on that. I know who is, though. A Neo Geo. Only thing I saw there for Neo Geo. Saw this Blockbuster sign for $5,500. And finally, the reason I came out here, CNC Games. These guys were great. I love their 3D printed stuff. I got a whole bunch of it. It's going in the game room. Stay tuned for that. And stay tuned for the haul.